And I think we're back. Welcome back to or excuse me,
Now batting number 20, Mila Mendiola.
welcome back to Best Mullet Field as we're on the top of the second. Had a quick little issue with some technical difficulty. We are live, I believe, with the okay. Okay. We just had a little issue with the technical difficulties here where we were streaming at a bad speed. We're on the top of the second. This is Mila Mendiola batting with Taylor Sanfilippo on Marissa Harrison with a great grab. Snap throw back and one away. Marissa, that diving play out in front.
Now batting number 32, Ashley Kurt.
And Ashley Kurt coming to bat. So Kurt, the right fielder, with a leadoff runner for the up. That was Sanfilippo. She arrived on an error. So we are back and loaded. We had a quick little issue. Now we're good, I think. And Terry Stanton still on the hill. Terry's rise ball misses high. And our count 1 ball and no strikes to Kurt. Hirschberger is on deck. Marks went 1, 2, 3 in their half of the first as we had technical difficulties. But we are good to go, it looks like. That's tapped over there to Hobson. And she'll toss across to Natalie covering. And a fielder's choice allows Kurt to score. Hobson thought about turning to Kimbler, but just a little bit too much. But 2 outs for the center fielder, Hirschberger. Whether you're a fan of the Threshers, fan of the Larks, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a text, 620-217-1465. There we go. Now we're up and going. Special happy birthday to Coach Bell. And that one misses inside on the changeup. What was that? Okay, yeah. That one lifted foul on the right side, and our count evens at a ball and a strike. Game day sponsor day, TNT Flowers. That's a line drive back up the middle. Base knock here for Hirschberger. And Hirschberger moves Kurt up 60 feet. Lexi Birch, DP, steps up. So 2 aboard here with 1 away, or 2 outs, excuse me. In the top of the second, whole lot of 2s. Terry working here. And her pitch as Birch swings through. The 0-1 drifts a little outside. Terry wanted the call, but we're even at a ball and a strike. So Terry gets her sign one more time from Coach Bell. And the 1-1 delivery on the way. There's a strike at the knees, and Birch is behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. Terry trying to work her way out of a mini jam here with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Swing and a miss, and Terry does work her way out of the jam with her second strikeout of the contest. Bethel strands a pair. We'll be back right here with the bottom of the second after this.
Harrison.
And welcome back to the best. We're in the bottom of the second. It's the M&M trio coming to bat. Marissa, Maddie, and Mariah all in order here for the Larks. And Marissa was 2 for 4 in the series against Dodge City. Drove in a couple. She leads the team with a 500 batting average. Mariah Gill-Martin is due up, and she's batting 500 as well. She was 3 for 6 in the opening series. Jackson misses outside, 1 ball. Jackson took a little bit off and fooled Marissa, and we're even at 1-1. Marissa hit the first home run in best mullet history last season against Hutch. Marissa fights it off, fouls it back to the fence. Or count 1 and 2. Whether you're a fan of the Threshers, a fan of the Larks, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a text, 620-217-1465. Marissa swings through, and a strikeout recorded for Jackson. Maddie Rosales, DP, coming to bat. So Maddie looking for her first hits of the season. Of course, the Larks are only 2 games in. They had about a month worth of cancellations. And Maddie looks at a pitch upstairs by her eyes for a ball. A long gap with some COVID protocols thrown in. The polar vortex, which wiped everyone away. Games. As many chases inside. And our count evens up at 1-1. The 1-1 coming up. That's off the fist, popped up at Mendiola, who cannot make the play, and Maddie aboard after the error. So the Larks were their first base runner of the contest, as Mariah Gill-Martin coming to bat. With Terry on deck. So the Larks with their first base runner in this ball game against Bethel's JV. Bethel just down the road 7 miles. And Mariah fouls it back into the fence. Our baseball was up 20-10 the last score we saw. That one misses outside from Jackson, just moved on her a little bit too much, and our count even at 1-1. Our men and women travel to KCK tomorrow for conference play in basketball. The throw down, not in time, as Madison swipes her first stolen base of the season. Larks will run. And our count moves 2 balls, 1 strike. Popped up, backing out of play. We're once again even at 2-2. Not a whole lot of stats when you're only 2 games into your season with which to work. So we're even 2-2. Mariah battling up there against Jackson. There's a drive to left field. Walker can't come up with it. She kicks it into foul territory. And the Larks have runners at the corners after a couple of Bethel errors.
Now batting number 20, Terry Stanton.
What a way here for the Larks. Terry Stanton coming to stick. Terry 1 for 5 in action with a pair of runs driven in. 3 strikeouts. 200 batting average for Terry. A lefty, another lefty. And Terry takes a strike on the first pitch she sees from Jackson. So runners at the corners, both teams in black. They're going to be tough to tell apart. On what's a pretty nice day for softball for March 2nd. Terry, that's a line drive. Walker comes up and makes the play on the run. Walker took away extra bases because she was cheating in out there in left. And that puts 2 away for Natalie. Natalie in action this past weekend was 2 for 4 on Sunday with a run driven in, a walk, a strikeout, batting .500. And Natalie takes a pitch low. Natalie, a red shirt freshman from Plumas Lake, California. Natalie swings through that one, and we're even at a ball and a strike. Feels good to be back here at the best. It was March 12th when we were on hold from the pandemic as Jackson misses outside. I was right here with game in Coffeyville. Lark swept. And from that point on was the last time we had a Lark softball until today. The 2-1 coming up. And that one popped back out of play, and our count evens up at 2-2. Jackson took a little bit off, misses high, and we're full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ball 4, free pass. And the Larks have the bases loaded. Olivia Nava coming to bat here. An exaltation of Larks on the base paths. As we like to say, Dr. Phil Miller and I like to say, the meadow is occupied. So Natalie digging in. Excuse me, Olivia digging in. Those two. And Olivia takes a strike. On the first pitch from Jackson. Jesse Miranda waits on deck. Olivia chokes up, pops a foul. And we're She's now behind 0-2. Olivia swings through, and the Threshers get out of the jam on the strikeout. Larks strand at 3. We've played 2 here from the best. No score. We'll be back after this with more Lark softball. Top of the third we go. No score here from the best. Larks and Threshers. Lark home opener.
Lead off the Thresher number 2, Kaylee Gonzalez.
Kaylee Gonzalez singled her first at bat here for the Threshers to lead off the game, but was stranded at first base. Interrogating her sign and dealing, and misses downstairs on the first pitch to Gonzalez. 1 ball. That's on the ground and foul past Kimberlin over there at third. Nice day, about 60 degrees. Wind from the southwest, blowing across here. That's lifted, and that will drop in for a base hit over to right field for Gonzalez. So she's quickly 2 for 2 this afternoon.
Now batting number 27, Abigail Walker.
Abigail Walker struck out. She's 0 for 1. Bunt laid down, and foul ball. It was picked up in foul territory by Walker. So you count 0-1. Tries the bunt again, and Kimberlin does a smart play and lets that roll foul. Heads up play by Kimberlin over the hot corner. Could have pounced on it, wouldn't have had a play, but that ball had enough spin on it, rolled foul. And now Walker quickly down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss for Walker, and she strikes out for the second time today.
Now batting number 24, Lindsay Myrick.
Myrick, the third baseman, coming to bat here. For the Threshers, she flew out to center field. Her first at bat. That's a line drive to Lexi Sylvie, who plays it perfectly. And 2 away.
Now batting number 7, Corrales Forrest.
Corrales Flores, the catcher, coming up with 2 away and a runner aboard. She flew out to Mariah over and left. Her first at bat, so she is 0 for 1 on action this afternoon, and she'll take the strike on the changeup from Terry. I'm not going to lie, I would see a changeup like that, and I'd come out of my shoes trying to hit it. I'd probably pull something, I'd miss, and be laying in a heap in the dirt. The 0-1. Chopped on the ground at Jesse. Jesse throws across in time. And for the third straight time, Bethel with a leadoff runner aboard. They can't manufacture anything with it. We'll go bottom 3. Larks and Thresher still with no score. Back after this. Top of the order we go. Bottom of the third for the Larks as Jesse Miranda coming to bat.
Number 21, Jesse Miranda.
Jesse coming to bat here for the Larks. She's still looking for a hit to start the season. She's now 0 for 9. So we'll see if the redshirt sophomore can get things going. Bethel trying to keep her off of the base paths. As Jesse swings through, one of the most dangerous base stealers in the country. And Jesse takes a strike. Or swings through for the strike. So Jackson doing a good job to keep the Lark hitters off balance. That misses too far outside. And our count evens at a ball and a strike. Jesse did steal 4 bases in 2 games against Dodge City as she shoots that one foul into the batting cages. And her count 1-2. Jesse getting herself set. Fights it off, fouls it back into the fence one more time. Our count still riding at 1-2. Fly ball lifted to center field. Long run coming on, and Hirschberg makes the catch on the stab out there.
Now batting number 17, Lexi Sylvie.
One away here for the Larks. And Lexi Sylvie needed to get things going. She struck out. Lexi takes a strike on the outside corner from Jackson. The 0-1. On the ground at Gonzalez. Gonzalez throw over in time. The Larks now.
Now batting number 9, Kimberlyn Hobson.
Have two away for Kimberlyn Hobson. Kimberlyn grounded out to second, her first at bat. And she punches one foul on the left side off the fists. 3 straight lefties to start the lineup for the Larks. Feels like almost every other batter's a left-handed hitter. And then a couple thrown in for good measure. One rises high, and the count evens up at 1 ball, 1 strike here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Kimberlyn looks at one outside. She's from Sanger, Texas. Went to Sanger High School. Our count 2 balls and 1 strike. That one fouled back and out of play on the left side. Deuces wild across the top of the scoreboard. 2 runs, or two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Kimberlyn digging in. And the 2-2 delivery from Jackson misses high, and we're full 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Kimberlyn goes down looking. Larks go quickly, quietly in their half of the third. We've played 3. No score here from the best. Back after this. Sanfilippo coming to bat here in the top of the 4th. She reached on an error, but then was forced out. So she is officially 0 for 1 in my book, even though I'm not official. Terry works in the first pitch. Drops a little bit low. To Bethel's first baseman. Terry drops in a changeup, and Marissa Harrison might have been the most fired up on the field about the strike. Stayed a little bit low in our count. 2 balls, 1 strike. On the ground, past Kimberlin at third base. It's foul. So our count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. I need to get my rangefinder out here and range the fence so I know how deep it is. That is a line drive out to the fence. Sanfilippo will run for a while. She'll pull into second with the stand-up double. Erica Nacarado telling me it's 220 to center. I would have guessed with that. I can get behind that. Mila Mendiola coming to bat here. Fourth hit of the contest for the Threshers. The runner in scoring position with none out. And the fourth time the Threshers have had the leadoff runner aboard as Mendiola fouls it off and fortunately hit her in the box while she was still there, or that would have been an out. Bunt laid down, and Marissa pounces on it in foul territory, and the count 0-2. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Mendiola chases right through it. That's the 4th strikeout of the contest for Terry. 1 out for Ashley Kurt. Again, if you're a fan of the Threshers, fan of the Larks, we'd love to hear from you. Terry spins that one inside, 1 ball. Kurt grounded into a fielder's choice, so she's 0 for 1. The changeup, she fouls it off so far in front, and our count evens up at 1-1. Actually, a pretty good turnout here at the Best today. We got fans all along the left field line, wearing masks and socially distancing, of course. A few fans from Bethel here as well. The 1-1. Fouled back into the netting. Love the netting, so crisp. See right through it, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. I told Kyle Olson I won't be mentioning that Oswald Field needs netting. And I count 1 and 2. Good pitcher's pitch from Terry, just missed outside, trying to force the chase. Kurt now has the count even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called as Kurt goes down as she's frozen on the pitch inside.
Number 28, Emma Hirschberger.
And that brings up Hirschberger, who singled in her first at bat. Hirschberger chases. 1 strike. That one bounces away from Marissa. And Filippo moves all the way over to third base. So our count, 1 ball and 1 strike in the first run of the game potentially is just 60 feet away for the Threshers. Snap throw back down after the swing and the miss from Hirschberger. And our count 1 and 2. Swing and a miss on the changeup. After getting the leadoff batter on a double all the way to third, Terry Stanton strikes out the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Larks and Threshers still scoreless here from the best. Back after this. Marissa Harrison to start things off here for the Larks in the bottom of the 4th. She 0 for 1. And the Larks trying to get things started. Marissa swings through. 1 strike here from Jackson. Jackson kept the Lark hitters off balance. Still searching for their first hit. We've gone into the 4th on a 59-degree day. That one drifts outside, and our count evens up at 1 and 1. Actually, 62. Forgive me, I don't want to skimp on the degrees. Marissa swings through. Our count 1 and 2. That one down and in the dirt. It's a good stop by Porras behind the dish. And the count evens up at 2 and 2. Marissa chases the outside pitch. Another strikeout for the Larks.
Number 2, Madison Rosales.
Maddie Rosales coming to bat. 5 strikeouts for Jackson here through 3 and a third. That's on the ground at Mendiola, who plays the hop, tosses over to San Filippo.
Number 10, Mariah Gilmartin.
And 2 away. Mariah Gilmartin coming to bat now for the Larks. She got on base after an error, was stranded at second base. And Jackson starts. Mariah off with a strike. That one popped back. Cleared the press box. I thought it was going to be a loud sound where we could say ouch, but it's not in the count 0-2. Just the second season of existence for this field. It's so nice to have softball on campus. As that one pops straight up, mile high. Porus makes the play, and the Larks go quickly and quietly. Lets 6-7 straight retired by the Threshers. We've played 4. No score here from the best. Back after this. We're heading to the top of the 5th here from the best. Birch, Gonzalez, and Walker all due up here for the Thresher JV. As we're knotted up, no score here from this brand new facility. Special thank you to T&T Flowers, our game day sponsor today. Birch struck out her first at bat back in the bottom of the second, or the top of the second. And Terry misses on the first pitch down low to Birch. Terry is from Waller, Texas, went to Waller High School. And throws it right by Birch, and our count evens up at 1-1. Busy time of year here. All across the board, whether it's high school in Kansas or collegiate athletics, as there's a pitch at the knees for a strike, and our count 1-2 strikes. Spring sports in Kansas just starting. Swing and a miss. 4 straight strikeouts here by Terry.
Now batting number 2, Kaylee Gonzalez.
And that brings up Kaylee Gonzalez, who is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. First time in this contest that Bethel has not had their leadoff hitter aboard. The filthy changeup from Terry. Gonzalez could not lay off. That's chopped foul at the fence. And our count 0-2. Terry dealing. Strike 3 called. That's 5 straight strikeouts now for Terry.
Now batting number 27, Abigail Walker.
And Abigail Walker, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, coming to bat. Tapper foul for Walker. Terry has settled down. Walker calling time. Little gamesmanship here. Whether you're a fan of the Threshers, fan of the Larks, love to hear from you. Drop us a text, 620-217-1465. Swing and a miss for Walker, and she's quickly behind 0-2. That's a little tapper. Jesse knocks it down, can't come up with it, and Walker aboard.
Now batting number 24, Lindsay Myrick.
And Myrick coming to bat. So Walker singles. Terry missing inside. So the little single breaks the streak of strikeouts for Terry. Time called by Myrick, third baseman, who's over 2 with a fly out and a line drive, both to center field. So we'll see if Myrick hits it elsewhere rather than Lexi Sylvie. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Snap throw back, gets into right field. But there to knock it down was Olivia. A good job backing up out there in right. That one tapped foul. And Myrick now has the count moved to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one drifting too far, and Myrick wears it. And so she'll get a free base. She's trying to walk that off. That hit right in the upper part of the quad or the thigh, the hamstring area, which hurts. I've been hit there before. Flores coming to bat. She's 0 for 2. The Lark baseballers were hit 15 times and had 32 walks this past weekend against York, along with 2 intentional walks on top of that. Flores takes the ball. There's a line drive that tails foul. And they count 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 coming up. Marissa knocks it down. Runners can't move up, and the count now 2 balls, 1 strike. Fly ball back to Lex, who camps underneath it and makes the play. Bethel strands 2 more runners. We played 4.5. Larks and Threshers, no score here from the Bess. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th after this. Terry Stand to start this off here for the Larks in the bottom of the 5th. Larks still looking for their first hit. So Terry lined out to left as Walker had cheated in and took away what should have been a base hit. Good play by the fielder out there, though. Terry off the fists and lines it out to second. 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Now the Paramo coming to bat. Nally drew a walk and takes a strike on the first pitch from Jackson. That one misses downstairs, and our count evens up at a ball and a strike. Good pitch from Jackson, catching the black on the outer corner, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Natalie still hitting .500 as she drew a walk today, 2 for 4. That one rises high. And we're even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Natalie swinging through. And another strikeout there for Jackson. Olivia Nava stepping in, 2 outs here for the Larks in the bottom of the 5th. That is on the ground, deep in the hole from Gonzalez. Throw over just in time by about a quarter of a step. Larks, now that is 10 straight hitters retired by the Bethel defense. We've played 5 Larks and Threshers, all knotted up with no score. Back after this. San Filippo coming to bat here for the Threshers. She doubled in her last at bat. Reached on an error, so she has an on-base percentage. Perfect, but 1 for 2 in the contest. Mendiola and Kurt all due up here, so top 6 we go. And the first pitch of ball. That one stays a little bit low on our count, 2 balls and no strikes. That's a hard hit single back into center field. And San Filippo aboard with the base rip. Mendiola coming to bat. 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout. The changeup fouled off, hit Mendiola in the box. 1 strike. On the ground, backhand by Jesse, throw across in time. Great play by Jesse with a backhand play as she tosses it all the way across to Katie.
Number 32, Ashley Kurt.
And Kurt comes to bat, 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a strikeout looking. We're in the 6th, no score. The Larks have yet to record a hit. That one too far inside. And I count 1 ball. Gotten a lot closer coming out of Terry's hand. Or as it came out of Terry's hand, it looked like it was going to be a lot farther inside and tailed back in. That one fouled back on our count even. Almost like a screwball type of movement. We'll say this much, give Bethel credit. They always have a lot of good support. They're setting up a line for food after the game. Bunt offered. And that goes through Marissa. And the count 1-2. Swing and a miss as Kurt strikes out. 2 away. That's 10 strikeouts, I do believe. 9 strikeouts for Terry. And 2 away as Emma Hirschberger, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout, taps that slow roller. Kimberlin plays it over in foul territory for the first foul. It was off the end of the bat. The 0-1. Swing and a miss by Hirschberger. Marissa with the quick throw down. Not in time. And the count now 0-2 to Hirschberger as we're in the top of the 6th. Still no score. Larks still have yet to have a hit. They are top of the order coming up, though. That is a slow roller. Terry thinking went home. Doesn't matter. It's a ground out at home. And we've played 5.5. Larks and Threshers still with no score. We're back after this with the bottom of the 6th right here on the Lark Network.
Larks, number 21, Jesse.
Top of the order as we're in the bottom of the 6th. Jesse, Lexi, and Kimberlyn. So Jesse flew out in her last at bat as Hirschberger made a running catch. And Jesse will step in. Jackson paints that outside corner for a strike. Jackson's done a good job of staying away and working away against Lark hitters today. Jesse shoots one that tails foul. And if that would have been fair, she would have run for a while, as that could have gone all the way to the corner. So Jesse quickly behind 0-2. Jesse fights it off, battling. Little batter's box disco dancing as she's staying alive. Erica didn't like that. Erica's up here running music. The 0-2. Jesse fights it off again. Once again, we're staying alive. Jackson working one more time. Jesse right back up the middle, and that one will be an infield single. There's no chance for Mendiola to come up with that. And Jesse has her first hit of the season, and we know that she will be probably running. Lexi Sylvie coming up. Lexi also overdue. The Larks with a leadoff runner aboard, and the first hit of the game. Lexi shows bunt, and Jesse moving on the pitch. Swiping second. Jesse's also a threat to swipe third. That is stolen base number 5 for her on this season. And I'm not sure what we've got going here. On who? Okay, a bench warning on Bethel. Count 1-0 here to Lex. Lex lays a perfect bunt down, and Myrick can't come up with it. Lex was wheeling and dealing. And now runners at the corners for the Larks as they're threatening
Now batting number 9, Kimberlyn Hobson.
with a quick pair of base knocks. Kimberlyn Hobson will step to hit. Kimberlyn also over 2. Kimberlyn back up the box, base hit, and the Larks have a run as that one gets through the center fielder Hirschberger. Lexi on her way. Kimberlyn thinking 3. She'll stay at 2 After the single and an error out there, 2 runs come across.
Now batting for the Larks, number 28, Marissa Harrison.
So 2 runners come across, and the Larks lead 2-0. And Marissa Harrison coming to bat. 1 RBI on the play. So a single, an error, and Kimberlin over there at the second base. And the Larks now lead as they scratch a couple across. Marissa Harrison's 0 for 2. No, you didn't put they're 3 hits, right. So Marissa, pair of strikeouts. A lot of green out there for Marissa to work. That one misses outside from Jackson. Suddenly the Larks are alive. 1 ball to Marissa from Jackson. That one misses high and away. And our count 2 balls and no strikes. Text saying woohoo Kimbo. The 2-0 coming up. Marissa takes a strike. 2-0. Very patient hitter for the Larks. That one's at the knees for a strike, and we're even up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, if you're a fan of the Larks, fan of the Threshers, love to hear from you. Drop us a text, 620-217-1465. Marissa fights it off and fouls it back to the fence, and we're still riding 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Marissa doing Erica's favorite thing of batter's box disco dancing, staying alive with a 2-strike count. Marissa fouls it back to the fence, and the count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Marissa knew she chased high cheese. That one hitting Marissa. Marissa pleading her case, saying she hit me. And Marissa aboard after being hit by a pitch. No outs and 2 on here for the Larks as Maddie Rosales, who is 0 for 2 with a stolen base after she reached on an error by the second baseman, stole second, and then grounded out. So Maddie up. Time called. We have time being called by the field ump out there. Time called before the pitch. The field ump, I saw the field ump coming in and calling time. And no pitch to the call. I'm not sure why we had time called. So we'll go back. So that never happened. So Maddie digging in. And takes a strike on the outside corner on the first pitch she sees from Jackson. 2 runners have crossed. We have 2 on and none out here in the bottom of the 6th. That one misses upstairs, and we're even 1-1. Kimbo's over there at second. Marissa's over there at first. That is on the ground, knocked down by Jackson. She'll try and go to the short way to third. Throw it back in as Marissa diving in. So Maddie on the fielder's choice.
Now batting for the Larks, number 10, Mariah Gilmartin.
Moves to first. Mariah Gilmartin comes up with one out for Mariah. Mariah's from Wichita, Kansas. Went to Circle High School. So kind of a Circle pipeline here to Hesston College as of late. Mariah drops one in, and that will be no play over there at first base. A runner coming home as Marissa slides in. A base hit and an error there. And 3 runs have now crossed for the Larks. And that brings up Terry Stanton in a quick little conference out there on the mound. A special thank you today to TNT Flowers as our game day sponsor. 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th for the Larks. Maddie's over at third, Mariah over at first. Four hits in the inning for the Larks. Their bats were quiet. It seems like the Larks have somewhat solved the riddle of Skylar Jackson. So Terry digging in. She's over 2 with a pair of line drives. Line drive outs, I should say. Excuse me. Runners at the corners. 3 runs have crossed here for the Larks. Pitch missing downstairs. For a ball. Terry takes a strike on the outside corner, and our count evens up at 1-1. Mariah took second. On FI, that one's popped up. And our count 1-2. The press box at the City Ball Diamond was half this size and open. And I had a couple plays on foul balls up there over the years. But it's so much nicer to be inside. Terry fights it off, fouls it into the fence. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 on for the Larks at second and third. 3 runs across for the Dirty Birds. Snap throw down, and it takes a fortunate hop off of Myrick. Gonzalez is there to keep it in front. And our count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That pitch missing. Outside, and our count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That one upstairs hits Terry in the helmet, and she is aboard. So we've seen a little bit of everything. 2 batters hit. The sacks are full.
Number 14, Natalie Paramo.
And Natalie coming to bat. It looks like we got a substitution in place of Natalie. I think it's... So Natalie for Natalie.
Number 26, Natalie.
Natalie Fisher coming to bat. And I learned yesterday that Natalie Fisher has a pet cow. Guaco? Guapo. The cow's name is Guapo. So Fisher coming to bat. Her 5th plate appearance on the season. She has an RBI. She's 0 for 4. And she'll take a pitch outside for a ball. Fisher swings through the second pitch she sees, and her count evens at a ball and a strike. That one bounces down low. Forrest keeps it in front of her, and the runners can't do anything. On her count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Would not doubt if we see Natalie re-enter as the defensive part of the 7th. Fisher takes a strike on the outside corner where the count moves 2 balls, 2 strikes. The nest full of larks out there. Fisher fouls it into the glove, and strike 3.
Number 13, Olivia Nava.
So Olivia Nava coming up, the meadow occupied, an exaltation of larks on the base paths. And that one stays outside to Olivia. Olivia punches one out to left field, but it drops foul. And our count even at 1-1. Larks' bats were incredibly quiet through the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th as they went down in order each time. Natalie, line drive at 3rd base and snagged by Myrick. But the Larks send 9 hitters to the plate, score 3, leave the bases loaded. We've played 6 innings. Larks lead 3-0. We'll be back with the top of the 7th after this. Jesse McMichael coming to bat here, number 30 for the Threshers. As McMichael trying to get something started here. Larks now lead 3-0 after they score 3 runs on 4 hits. And there's a strike from Terry at the knees to McMichael. Terry misses down and away on our count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Terry's changeup misses outside, and our count 2 balls and a strike. Hammered on the ground, base hit for McMichael as she finds some green over there on the left side. And they will bring in someone too wrong. Kaylee Gonzalez coming to bat. Gonzalez with a pair of singles and a strikeout. And that is number 29 coming in.
Pitch ready, number 29, Morgan Marsh.
Morgan Marsh coming in to run for Bethel. So McMichael singles, Marsh comes in to run. And Gonzalez at the dish. The changeup drops in for the strike. Terry, right back at the knees, inside corner, paints the black for the strike, and the count now 0-2. Terry misses inside, and the count 1-2, mighty close, but still just a little bit too far inside. Now it gets through Marissa. And Marsh moves up. Count 2-2. Fly ball to right center field. That will drop in for a base hit out there. And Bethel will score a run on the double by Gonzalez. So Gonzalez trades places, and a run comes across.
Now batting number 27, Abigail Walker.
And Abigail Walker coming to bat. Got a text saying, nice hit, Jesse Bear McMichael from Cali. Walker singled in her last at bat. And chases for the first strike. Walker lays the bunt down, and Kimberlin once again lets it roll foul. Just a good case of Kimbo over there knowing where foul territory is, knowing what that ball is going to do and reading it off the bat. On the count 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Walker retired. On the strikeout by Terry. 1 out for Lindsey Myrick.
Now batting number 24, Lindsey Myrick.
10 strikeouts in the contest now for Terry. Pushing her total of 19 on the season. And the changeup starts Myrick off with a strike. Terry comes inside and paints that inner corner. And the count 0-2. On the ground past Jesse, base hit into left field. Left center field. And Myrick singles in a run, and the Threshers have trimmed the lead to 3-2. Porras coming to bat. I'll move it. Swing and a miss by Porras. On the first pitch she sees. 1 strike. And the 0-1 coming up. One misses downstairs, and our count evens at a ball and a strike. One bouncing in the dirt, and our count 2 balls and a strike to Porras. Fly ball to center field. Lexi plays it perfectly 2 away.
Now batting number 10, Taylor Sanfilippo.
Taylor Sanfilippo. Filippo. Sanfilippo is 2 for 3 with a double and a single chasing the first pitch she sees from Terry. Terry likes to start hitters off with that changeup, at least in this game, keeping hitters off balance. Swing and a miss, and the count now 0-2. Big pitch coming up here for Terry. She's getting her signs from her coach. Time called by Sanfilippo. Strike 3, and the Larks come away with the Game 1 victory. Our final score here from Best Mullet Field.
Larks 3, Threshers 2.
The Larks win 3-2.
Starting about 20 minutes.
We will take a break. Bring up a new game on this. Game 2. Look for that right here on YouTube. Our final score: the Larks beating the Threshers 3-2. We'll be back with the start of Game 2 right here on the Lark Network.